Hello and welcome to Woodfired Weekly at Manna from Devon Cooking School. This week we've got a little bit of a technical challenge for ourselves. We're going to be using the Morso Forno to cook a raspberry clafoutis. Nothing particularly challenging about a raspberry clafoutis. This is a very simple dish, just a batter, some fruit, often made with cherries. We're going to be using raspberries and a little bit of orange, raspberry and orange. The technical challenge bit is going to be cooking it in the Morso Forno oven. The Morso Forno doesn't really retain heat terribly well, so we have to manufacture a source of heat which is going to give us some stability, some longevity of heat and some evenness of heat. So the plan here is to have a fire on each side of the oven, allow those to burn down to a nice bed of embers, push them back with fire guards so that we've got a nice space in between with heat emanating from both sides from those bed of embers. Nothing too fierce, but it should give us a nice consistent heat. We've used this technique in the past to successfully bake bread, so I'm pretty sure it's going to work today. In the bowl here, some plain flour and some caster sugar. Into that we're going to crack some eggs. And bit by bit we're working the flour into the eggs to get a nice smooth paste. So nice and smooth, no lumps. Into that we're going to put half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And into that we're going to put a mix of milk and cream. Beat the whole lot to get a nice smooth batter. I've got a buttered ceramic dish, fruit in the bottom, and pour the batter over the top. Now I'm going to get my 2 fire retainers. The flames have pretty much disappeared now, so I'm just left with embers. So that gap in the middle should be a pretty safe zone. So we go straight in with the clafoutis. It's going to be a little hotter towards the back. And the door firmly in place should give us the greatest amount of stability. The clafoutis had 5 minutes or so. We're going to have a very quick look. Certainly not browning too quickly. I did have a little disc of foil ready just in case, but not necessary. So we're going to leave that on and have a look in another 25 minutes. So we're about 40 minutes into cooking our clafoutis. And my suspicion is that although we're more or less cooked, just firming up to the touch in the middle there, we're looking a bit pale and insipid because we didn't have quite enough heat to colour the top. So we're going to do a little rescue job on this now. Gives me a good opportunity to show you a little rescue technique. So I'm going to use a single fire lighter and some wood which I've cut down to more or less matchwood, kindling, nice and dry. So I'm going to pop that in there. Tiny amount of wood. And this wood is just going to give me some flame over the top, just enough to give a little bit of a bronzing to the dessert. And because I'm not using much wood, I'm not going to produce a huge amount of heat, just enough to give that little bit of a grilling effect from above. So we'll just give that 4 or 5 minutes of heat over the top and then have a look. Okay, I added a little bit more wood, made that fire even more intense. And now if I bring that out, we've got a lovely browned top. And the centre feels just sort of firm. Nice and firm around the outside, just firm in the middle. And as that cools, it'll carry on cooking a little bit and it'll firm up even more. That's the Raspberry Clafoutis. Great little technical challenge for the Morso Forno. I think we've done a pretty good job there. Thank you very much for watching Woodfired Weekly. We'll be back next week with another recipe. If you've enjoyed this recipe or found it useful, please subscribe to our channel. We'll provide details of the recipe on our blog and we'll put a link to that below. See you next time.